Look, the Xbox Series S is the worst decision Microsoft has ever made for these new consoles. But I had to go get one. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Summers, Major Linux, youtube.com/MajorLinux, come to you with another major unboxing. And I'm not going to say it necessarily, I'm going to eat crow with this one, but yeah, we did it. Say hello to the Xbox Series S. That's right. The console, the next gen, or I guess current gen at this point, console that I said was the worst decision.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Nobody's talking to you, Siri. The console I said Microsoft made the worst decisions for, mainly because of the fact that it is a diskless console that has 512 gigabytes of internal SSD storage. Of course, there is 1 terabyte of external storage provided by the Seagate expansion pack card thing. That's like $220. But yeah, like I still stand by my argument that this is probably the worst decision that Microsoft made in regards to the Xbox consoles that came out. But it's still not to say that this isn't a fabulous piece of tech. I'll get into that a little bit later, and probably will be a separate video given how late it is now. But we're here mainly to unbox what's still essentially a pretty dope piece of tech. So let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, you can see this is the box here. Apparently the stock for these are starting to get a little bit better. I was able to go into it. I bought this online on Best Buy. I was able to walk into the store and pick it up. Like I bought it late last night, was able to pick it up today. So check your Best Buy. They actually might have these in stock, and they seem to come in fairly regularly now. So yeah, 512 gigabytes SSD. Of course, this is diskless. You see the disk little slash there. The Velocity architecture. And of course, this goes up to 120 FPS at 1440p. If I'm definitely not mistaken. It's 1440p, does not do 4K, but it does go up to 120 frames per second. Of course, you can see it's white console, white controller. It's kind of what it looks like. It's everything in the box here. Of course, you got your laundry list of features. Again, gaming up to 120 FPS. The Xbox Velocity architecture. 512 gigabyte solid state drive, which I actually found out is an actual PCIe Gen 4 NVMe. There is actually an NVMe drive in here, which, you know, before I was thinking that their NVMe storage was similar to PlayStation's, where there were just chips soldered on the board. No, there's actually an NVMe drive that's sitting in these consoles, both the Series S and the Series X, that is removable if you dig deep enough to get it. However, it's not as easy to replace them. But who's to say that later on down the road, they won't give you that option. Of course, this does have variable refresh rate, which the PlayStation 5 does not have as of yet. High dynamic range. And of course, this is disc-free gaming, so there is no disk drive on the console. Of course, included, we've got the Xbox Series S console, wireless controller, high-speed HDMI cable, and wireless networking capability. I wanted to get a plain charge kit. Well, I don't understand, like, for Xbox to have their consoles, there's still no rechargeable battery, but I guess there's also a thing too of once the battery dies in the controller, what do you do with the controller? Definitely looking at you PlayStation for that. Of course, all these wonderful games that I could possibly potentially play on this system. You know, that one was supposed to be here at launch, but it's not. It'll be here on December 8th, but we're getting here. We're getting close. But of course, everything on here is playable on the Xbox Series S. So of course, we talked about the Velocity architecture. Play thousands of games across 4 generations of Xbox, which is the Xbox OG, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and now Xbox Series S and X. Next gen gaming in a sleek, compact form factor. This is just look at that. This is very small compared to the controller. It's like about about twice the size of the controller. And of course, unlimited access to 100 plus high quality games through Game Pass, which of course I have Game Pass Ultimate. So as soon as I get this thing out the box, it'll be ready to go. Also, in the future, if you weren't paying attention to Gamescom, in the future, when you unpack an Xbox Series S or Series X and you don't have any games installed just yet, you'll be able to do cloud gaming on the console while you wait for the games to download. So if you've got that kind of internet connection, like I definitely do here, that's kind of a feather in your cap. So, I mean, Game Pass is the best value in gaming. I do not understand. Let me make sure. Okay, nope, nothing up here. See another picture of console and controller. So now it is time to open this up. And of course, accessibility is in hand here. They do have these little tabs, these little stickers here that allow you to easily peel that up, separate it out. So you don't necessarily have to go get a knife. So it's toolless entry into these boxes. Shout out to Xbox. Honestly, like really big in leading the way, especially when it comes to console accessibility. So I'm gonna turn this back around. So what I want to do is I actually want to open it up like this here. And of course, you've probably seen all the unboxings. It's, nothing new. Of course, there you go. Power my dreams. Look at that. Look how small this thing is. Of course, you can see up the top here, got the Xbox logo up here, keeping everything nice and still here. And of course, yeah, this is very small. It is very dense though. This is like, it reminds me of the Xbox One X. It was a small box, but it's very dense. So yeah, here's the console here. Power my dreams. It's this is a very, very small unit, but very, very dense. Of course, getting started guide, got all the ports, Ethernet, USB, HDMI, expansion slot, power, all that stuff. Of course, controller with batteries, how to pair it. Yeah, so that's that. And of course, in here, because I was wondering where it went, it doesn't seem like there's much here. But yeah, here is where you'll find, product regulatory guide, your HDMI 2.1 cables. Of course, this console is compatible with HDMI 2.1, which gives you the 1440p at a high refresh rate, all the cool features that you get on all the cool new TVs. I don't know if my TV is capable of that stuff. I need to look that up. Of course, you got your power cable here. And then, of course, make sure we're not forgetting anything, because now it is time for the customary fold everything back up. Got it here. Yeet. Yeah, we're just gonna rip it open. I'm just gonna rip this open here. Of course, frosty white Xbox One. Not One S, but Xbox Series S controller. Of course, it does come in white to match the console. Not a big fan of the white one. I mean, you can probably see here, especially with this light, it is piercing. It's a piercing white here. But of course, it's got all the new buttons. Can't remember what they call this button. I don't know. That's the menu button, little hamburger menu. And of course, this is the new share button. Of course, you got your little Nexus up here. Redesigned D-pad with a little circular. Kind of look more like the Xbox Elite controller. Of course, all the button placements where they need to be. Textured triggers. Not sure. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to show. We have textured triggers. No texture buttons up here. And of course, the texture back in. Kind of hear that. Put that close to the mic and hear that, as opposed to. Yeah, there's a difference. It's a subtle difference. It's a subtle difference, but there's a difference. And of course, it takes 2 AA batteries to power it. I'm gonna get a play and charge kit in a little bit. I went to a. Apparently, the Best Buy did not have any play and charge kits that were, Xbox branded. I'm not a particular fan of using Rocket Fish or whatever, Insignia or whatever home brands or that Best Buy does. I don't want that. So I'll probably order a plain charge kit online. Speaking and also going back to the console availability, the Target that was right down the street from my Best Buy also had some in stock. They weren't showing it, so you probably have to buy it online and go pick it up in store. And multiple Targets along with multiple Best Buys had Xbox One S's in stock. I was not expecting this. This feels weird. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy. Of course, that's what we came here for. All right. And yeah, like I said, it's a very small system, but it is very dense. It is packed. Again, like it reminds me of the Xbox One X, where it was definitely smaller than my Xbox One. Like about the same size as Xbox One S, but it weighed significantly more. But yeah, so this is the Xbox One S. Looks like a small little speaker. A little monolithic, 1950s ass speaker that you just have hooked up in your room somewhere. Of course, it does have the little feedies here where I can set it this way, and of course, feedies down here where I can set it this way if I want to. Of course, up front, USB and pairing button along with the power button, and in the back, there we go. Flip that up. Of course, again, like we have Ethernet, 2 USB 3.0s, or I think they're 3.0s. We'll just say USB 3, or they're 3.0s, 3.1s, 3.2s. Let's just say the USB 3s. HDMI out, so there's no HDMI in. Of course, you all know Xbox isn't doing the TV thing. Nobody really has cable boxes anymore anyway, so why bother? HDMI out. This is again HDMI 2.1. Of course, the storage expansion slot and the power, and of course they didn't label this one, but this is the Kensington lock. So, if you really want that security, you don't want this motherfucker to go anywhere. Put the Kensington lock on it. Of course, this is not a speaker as much as it looks like one. This is definitely the fan. This is where all the, the heat from the system rises up and leaves. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna set this up though. I want to set it like this, but also I want to set it to where, I look at it like this, but part of me just wants to set it to where it looks like this. Also, yeah, you can kind of see the fan that's turning in there, which is kind of cool. Actually, I see it on the camera, but I'm not sure if this is going to play on YouTube. But yeah, so this is it. Let's see here. I want to make sure I covered everything. So yeah, like I said, this is probably the worst decision that Microsoft has made when it comes to a console, mainly because of the fact that you provided less storage and diskless access to video games, which means I have to download everything, which does not seem like a smart option. If I have to download games, why do I have less storage? I don't know. Again, knowing that cloud gaming will be coming to the console soon, like at least by the end of the year. I think they're saying holiday at Gamescom. That won't be as much of an issue, but seeing that external storage for this thing is expensive, it does not make much sense up until the point where you realize that there really isn't much in the way of Xbox Series titles that are available. I'm not sure if you can sit there download the Xbox One version of the games. I've not really played around much anything. Obviously, I've been on PC for most of this. And again, I just bought this. So that may actually come in the other video about like what we can do to alleviate the storage problem. As you see, there are 3 USB ports on the system, which means you can connect hard drives to them, but that's only for OG Xbox, Xbox 360, and Xbox One titles. You can kind of offload series titles onto those systems, but onto those hard drives through the USB, but you can't play them off there. You'd have to continue to move them, which may be a little bit better. If you're trying to save bandwidth and you don't want to have to delete something and then have to re-download it again, and it may just be that much faster than your home connection to download them all over again if you can just move them back and forth. But it's always that game of, you know, knowing, hey, like, am I going to play this game? Do I need to get it ready? Of course, again, moving it back and forth with hard drive may be better than just re-downloading it. But it's still that thing of you're having to play that game of moving data off and on and off of hard drives in order to get that experience that you're looking for. But of course, it's not to say that you could buy like a huge, like an 8, 10, 14 terabyte external hard drive, plug that into here, and actually have like all of your OG Xbox, your Xbox 360 and Xbox One titles sitting on the external hard drive, keeping the 512 gigabytes ready for Xbox Series titles. But then it comes the point of when more games come out for the Xbox Series S and Series X. Well, there's the issue of more games that are coming out, but also those games getting bigger and bigger because the assets get bigger and bigger. Now, if they figure out compression technology a little bit better, we get some Pied Piper-ish. Shout out to those Silicon Valley fans. But they get that data compression technology at a point where they can actually ship very, very huge games with very, very huge assets at a like fraction of the size, to where we don't have to worry about storage constraints on these things. That'd be great. But right now, that's not here. Call of Duty is about half of Xbox Series S right now, so that's a problem. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. I am actually running out of battery because I just pulled this camera out of a bag fully on like with a half charged battery. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna have some more thoughts on why I chose the Xbox Series S, and maybe like after playing around with it for a little bit, some more thoughts on the storage stuff, because it's some stuff I want to get into. But I'm, again, worst decision Microsoft made, but I am still very excited to have it, and yeah, can't wait to start playing around with this some more. So of course, thank you all for tuning in. Of course, if you like this video, you like, comment, subscribe, do the whole thing, share it with your friends, I don't know, put thumbs up, do all that weird stuff. But yeah, tune in for more videos. Really do appreciate you all coming through. And of course, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people out there is I love you and peace.
Oh, hey, thank you for watching the video. Hope you really enjoyed it. Of course, really help me out if you like, comment, and subscribe, and click the little bell icon so that you can get notified of many more videos that appear on this channel. Thank you, and peace out.